In New York City, 1 in 3 babies is born into poverty, and 1 in 2 students is not considered college ready. Growing up in public housing, violence, isolation, addiction can mean that role models don't always come easy. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, money in hand can feel more important than time in school. Meet Jose.
All right, Des, have a good one. All right, bro. One day I was in class and we were doing introductions. We're going around, everyone saying their age, and hearing kids saying 13, 14 years old, and then it was my turn and I was 19 years old. I heard a little, laughing, giggling, and that just made me feel like I don't belong here. I'm too old for this. And that's the year I dropped out. Growing up in the Bronx was very, very difficult. A lot of violence. Mom couldn't afford a lot for all of us, especially without my father. Being without my dad, it played a big part of my life. The funny thing is, from kindergarten till about 5th grade, I loved school. I was like an A+ student. And then maybe about middle school is when things started to change. I would say from 14 till I was about 19, 20 was just selling drugs. I felt like I was good at it. I was making a lot of moves. I'm not gonna lie, I loved it. I actually thought that there's no job for me out there. There's no education for me out there. This is what I know. This is what I was born around. This is what I raised around. This is what I got sucked into. I always looked for that authoritative figure. Like, I needed somebody there for me. So I looked at the older guys as a father figure. Like, all right, cool, they're getting money, they're doing what they have to do, so I want to be like them. Put me under the wing, let me be under you, and you can raise me like your own son. One of my boys, he wanted to go back to school, but he didn't want to go alone. So he was like, yo, bro, I know about a program in Bronx Community College. It's a dope program. Let's go over there. But he ended up not showing up. I was gonna leave, and then I ran into Gene. He was just energetic. He's like, yo, take the placement test, see how you do. If you don't like it, then you don't have to stay. And I scored a perfect score on the math. So when I passed, some of my friends in that class failed the math. So I decided, you know what, let me work with these 5 people. So we used to stay in the classroom, and I used to tutor them in math. And all 5 of them ended up passing the math the second time they went. So Elizabeth, she seen that I was working with them, they ended up passing. So she gave me like a pilot group where she gave me about 10 to 12 students. At first, I was a teacher's assistant, and then I just branched off and now I teach my own class. Being in that surroundings, it took me away from the streets. Every time I try to go to school, I get on the 36 bus and I run into people I have beef with. That's when I realized I can't be half in, half out. I'm either all in or I'm all out. So I decided to leave the neighborhood. And that's when Gene and Hipólito became my father figures. Andre and Salim, those became my brothers. And then I felt like you do have something. And you have some people who are gonna support you regardless of what you go through. I wanna be the opposite of my father. I wanna do everything my dad didn't do. He wasn't there for me. He's not there the way I am for my daughters. I just want to do everything that he did not do. So I decided I'm going to go hard for my daughters. I'm going to change my life for my daughters. All right, so remember, yesterday I introduced quadratics. We didn't get to actually go over it thoroughly, but I introduced it so you guys can feel okay when we started today. So over the last 2 years that I've been at Future Now, I done helped over 300 students achieve their diplomas, and most of them are enrolled into college. And that makes me realize that's 300 lives I'm changing. And not only their life, but the friends that they have that they bring, or the parents that they have that receive their diplomas. I want to let people know that there is a way out. People who feel like, oh, I'm too hood for school, or somebody else telling me what to do. I wanted to give back to those people and let them know anybody could go back to school. Even when you get it, don't stop doing it. Keep going. It's like anything you do in life, right? You're either all in or all out. There's no in between. The sacrifices are worth it. And I don't even call them sacrifices, we call them investments. Sacrifice, you lose something. An investment, you don't. You gain it right back and more.